Hello, it's me, Fable. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be landscaping and decorating the museum on the island. It's going to be a speed build. We're going to be fast forwarding through a lot of it, but I'll be chiming in and sharing some of my thought process as I was building it. So with that said, let's go ahead, let's get started. So right here you can already see I've sort of figured out the shape of a sunken waterfall. So here I'm just filling in that area a little bit, trying to get a feel for how it'll all come together in the end with furniture and everything. So here I'm gonna start figuring out the waterfalls. You're gonna see me adding water, taking away water. I'm trying to see how the shape changes as I add in those waterfalls. I really want it to look very natural. So in order to do that, it takes a lot of trial and error. I have to put things up and then take them back down if it looks too artificial. But eventually it'll all come together. Now I'm starting to get that next level of cliff put in. You're gonna see me at a few points digging a hole and then kicking it up again. I'm trying to figure out where I can place my trees. Normally you can tell if a tree can be planted in a spot. It's pretty easy to eyeball, but I always kind of secretly hope that I'm looking at it wrong and I can fit a tree in the spot. Doesn't usually pan out for me, but a girl can dream. Julian spent a long time during this build singing to the sea. I love that for him. I start placing down items pretty early on. It doesn't always mean that those items will stay there, but it does give me a better sense of the space. So if, maybe there's too many trees, it's hard to see certain items, or if it's gonna block a walkway, things like that. Putting things down early and often, I think, really helps you get to that final stage faster and with something that you're really happy with. finally getting rid of those awkward cliffs I left hanging out there. I couldn't tell if I wanted it to expand farther, if I was going to bring it in like I did, so I had just stopped messing with it at that point, which is another tip I would give if you're kind of questioning something that you're doing. Just walk away from it, go work on another part for a little bit. Usually that'll help you to decide, and then you can come back and do what you need to do. So, some advice that I would give that I'm not the best about following, but it is really helpful advice. Oh, hi, Bam. Look at him. He's so cute. When you're working on a build, figuring out the space for the building, your landscaping and decorating around is really going to save you a lot of time. I completely eyeballed this, which is why I'm having to go in now and fill in all this cliff space. It's something I do a lot. I'm really bad about just sitting down and figuring out how many spaces I need ahead of time. But it saves you a lot of time if you do figure it out beforehand. You can probably already tell, but now we're going to be adding in flowers. So I'm just running around looking for all of the flowers that I want to use. We're going to start with some hyacinths. I think that's how you say it. We're going to start with those. I really like the way they look. They're nice and fluffy, and the colors aren't too dark or bold, so they feel really airy and magical and whimsical. If you see me kind of running back and forth along the cliffs, I'm trying to see what they look like from a lower level so I can see where I might need to add in flowers, trees, maybe some small furniture pieces. So with the museum in place, you're gonna see me putting a few things down, mostly trees. Actually, I think at this point I only put the trees down. It helps fill the space in a little bit better, so I get more of an idea for how this is gonna look when we're done, but I won't be doing anything further till I've time traveled a day ahead so that I can really see how the museum looks in this space, and I can do the pathing around it and things like that. If you're interested, you want to use any of the paths you see me using here, you can just take a look in the description and they'll be there for you. Something I'll do a lot of the time when I'm putting paths down as well is try something totally different next to it, just to see if I want to go in a different direction. So that's what that large circle with the dark dirt path is. We don't end up keeping it, but it was nice to have it there with everything else so I could see if I wanted to change my path at all. So now it's time for a little path refinement. I'm trying to make this look a little more natural. That big square doesn't look natural at all. Looks like somebody went in and put some path down. So I'm trying to make this look like some natural dirt pathing has occurred around the museum entrance. It takes me a few tries. You'll see me put down the wrong thing a few times, but we get there. Now I'm getting the last bit of the fencing put in. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit right here. We're doing the hedges with some country fencing. I just think it adds a little something extra to mismatch it a bit. Makes it look more interesting, not too homogeneous, which I was worried about with just doing a straight line of hedges, and I'm happy with how it looks. With all my trees and fencing in place, I'm ready to start putting down furniture. It's gonna be a lot of placing something in one spot, moving it to another, putting it back. But I think that's just the best way to go about it. You can't really know how it's gonna look until you put it down, right? So I'm just grabbing a couple more flowers. I'm also gonna grab some bushes and a couple furniture pieces that I think are really going to help fill in the area around the museum. And then we're going to take them back and we're going to start decorating even more. I'm really starting to fill in the area with more pathing as well. That's going to help me figure out how much more space I have so I can add in the remaining flowers and furniture items that I want to use. I also decide to mix things up a little bit and start using some mums as well. I really like the way they look. They also are just very soft and fluffy, and they kind of have a magical, whimsical feel to them, in my opinion. And their colors match perfectly with the hyacinths. I think almost the exact shade, whereas some of the other flowers are too bold and too bright, I think, to go with them. So I'm happy with this area at this point. So we just need to go in and we're gonna put down that last bit of fencing and then we're done. So here we are. I have finished the build for the museum, and now I'm just gonna walk you through it really quickly and we can look at the finished product. So there you have it. There's my museum, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. There's some areas that I still want to tweak and add some things to, but overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I hope you enjoy it too. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, you can subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!